Alright, I know you want to know which Gravity Falls arcade hero is by far the best, but first I gotta talk about Walking with Bigfoot, a great new game by Gaggle Games, a company a company of my parents, really. They've started making apps, and they're great, fun apps. This is a great way to kill time as you play as Bigfoot and walk through the forest, avoiding all sorts of obstacles like, fire, tables, and photographers. But unlike our friendly neighborhood Frank West, who's been on the show before, these ones will instantly kill you and hate Bigfoot for some reason. So check it out. I'll put the link to the Google Play Store in the description and check out the game. It's really fun.
One got knocked down, he won't get up again. The other went knocked him down. One got knocked down, and now he's fucking dead. The other went knocked him out. Combo breaker!
Gravity Falls, one of, if not my favorite cartoons of all time. It's way up there with the likes of the Powerpuff Girls. Like, seriously, I love this show. And there were two side characters that always stuck out to me, of course, so I kind of want to know who would win in a fight to the death. That's right, today we have an epic matchup between Rumble McSkirmish, the Gravity Falls Street Fighter, and GIFfany, the dating sim disaster of Gravity Falls. He's finally back, and after quite the horrific loss to Ken Masters, might I add. But maybe he stands a better chance in this fight. Let's go ahead and look at what Rumble can actually do. Rumble can manipulate fire and lightning for one attack and one attack only, being his electric fireball, which is basically Hadouken. He also has a rising uppercut, kind of like the Shoryuken, and the Thousand Hand Slap, just like E Honda. Yeah, there's a lot of Street Fighter references in here. He also has the two techniques that stand way above the rest of his other ones as his absolute best. Like his Fist Punch Rain, where it rains down, well, fists from the sky to hit people. He also has his best attack, that's called the Super Power Ninja Turbo Neo Ultra Hyper Mega Multi Alpha Meta Extra Uber Prefix Combo. This is an ultimate flurry of punches that ends with an explosion in the shape of a fist. If that's not the manliest thing you've ever seen, then I don't know what the hell is manlier than that. Honestly, the only thing that I think of could have a better name than that would be the Instant Hell Murder, or I guess better known as the Raging Demon for all you non-Akuma fans. He also wields a few items, like a katana for chopping and slashing, and a lead pipe for whacking and smashing. Also, a half-eaten crunchy taco that he can eat to heal himself. So let's go ahead and talk feats. Rumble McSkirmish has destroyed a car in a few hits, he shook a water tower with a single kick, and he almost tore down that water tower with the following hits. He's destroyed walls and fire hydrants before, and he can throw barrels several meters effortlessly. He's also, got all those generic video game feats and beat-em-up character feats that you can think of. I mean, honestly, he's a really strong dude. But he's also a skilled martial arts master, so he should be faster than a normal human. He was able to fight and beat Dipper, who was fast enough to run up walls while fighting the multi-headed bear. And because, Gravity Falls is Gravity Falls, he came back during the series' finale and was able to shoot an eye-bat out of the air. Keep in mind, these eye-bats were able to catch full-grown humans running in fear from a crazy and chaotic apocalypse forming around them. What's called a Weird Mageddon. It was kind of created by a Bill Cipher, a guy who's lost twice on my show to an alcoholic, drug-addicted old man and a body spray mascot, because that's what this show is, apparently. It's just like, what crazy-ass matchups can I do? But back to Rumble McSkirmish, I guess. He's actually built pretty tough, but at the same time, the durability feat he does sound kind of stupid. He's only got one durability feat, and that's surviving an attack from Dipper, pretty effortlessly, might I add. Keep in mind, Dipper can pole vault over cliffs with nothing but a spear, climb mountains, and even fistfight Gideon, as well as take on the multi-bear, so that should give him a decent durability feat through scaling, but the best fighter in the world should honestly have better durability than fighting a 12-year-old boy. I mean, just wow, it's kind of underwhelming if you think about it. So, Rumble's a skilled martial artist and a great fighter, but he's also kind of a dumbass. Dipper was able to trick him into fighting Robbie just by telling him that he killed his father. So yeah, he's a bit stupid. But he's also got some other interesting problems, like the fact that he doesn't have a looking up animation. So if he tries to look upwards, he can fall on the ground and not be able to get back up unless he truly tries to get back up. Other than that, there's that whole thing about winning or losing a fight causing him to return to the game world, but in the sense of a versus match, if he beat his opponent and killed him, it doesn't matter if he goes back to the game world, he won. So, it's a weakness, but not really. GIFfany. This character's kind of weird, but she made for a great villain, especially for a one-off character for a one-off episode. But it was a pretty good episode, actually, especially for being a Freddy Fazbear ripoff. So, into what GIFfany's capable of. GIFfany can actually hop between electronics through wires or just being close to them, as she can turn into lightning. She can also manipulate electricity and electronics to use in combat. And speaking of electronics, we have to talk about her animatronics that she controls for her main forms of combat. She's got a cheerleader bear animatronic and a badger animatronic. She also has control over two possums and barrels with huge-ass metal claws, and a big bear animatronic and an owl animatronic. I know you're sick of hearing the word animatronic already, but now Now you know how I feel talking about freaking Freddy Fazbear. Ugh. We also know that she has control over skee ball machines that can launch skee balls at high speeds. So on to feats. GIFfany has told us that she deleted her creator when she tried to delete her. While we never see exactly how she does it, in the little animation she shows us, she clearly electrocutes him to death. But that's only what she tells us, not exactly what we know happened. And with her animatronics, she's able to chop arcade machines in half, and her skee ball launchers are able to do heavy damage to metal doors. As for in-game GIFfany, she's got near limitless speed and she can travel instantly between devices, but her animatronics do struggle to catch people like Dipper, Seuss, and Mabel, and while Dipper may have impressive speed feats like running up walls, the other two don't. Her durability does vary though, as she can be permanently destroyed if you completely destroy her game disc, or her machines can just be kind of, well, they're not exactly the strongest. Yeah, they can take hits from Grunkle Stan, but other than that, Seuss's girlfriend was able to decapitate one with a chair. Their durability is pretty lackluster. And finally, GIFfany's intelligence. She herself is incredibly smart. She's able to manipulate technology and electricity, and she's able to outsmart her own creator. Now, here's kind of a weakness, though. The more machines she takes control of, the stupider the ones her non-primary one is. For example, her primary machine is the cheerleader bear, but the Big Bear animatronic, since it was a secondary machine, got easily distracted by an arcade machine. So yeah, it's pretty weird. And other than that, her only other weakness would be permanently destroying her game, which would kill her. Alright, our combatants are set. Which Gravity Falls Gaming All-Star will come out on top in a fight to the death? Rumble McSkirmish hops out of an arcade machine and sees GIFfany across the room on multiple TV monitors. He runs over and punches each screen, shattering it. He then hears giggling behind him as he turns to see a Badger robot punching his fists together. Rumble then punches the Badger in the head and follows up with a rising uppercut. As it launches the Badger into the air, he fires a fireball at it, blowing him up in mid-air. Rumble then starts to laugh as a bear robot runs over and tackles Rumble, launching him against a wall. The bear's eyes start to glow red as he slashes claws down at Rumble, who catches his arm and kicks the bear, ripping his arm straight off. The two possums pop out of their barrels and run straight at Rumble. One then jumps onto Rumble's back, but he grabs him and judo flips him on the ground, slamming him straight down and stomping on his skull. The other one then runs over and slashes his claws at Rumble multiple times and follows up by biting him. Rumble pulls out his katana and slashes the possum in half. Rumble then eats his taco and heals up his wounds as a bear cheerleader runs over and headbutts him and then knees him in the gut. Rumble fires a fireball at close range, shooting a hole straight through it, the animatronic, as he runs over to GIFfany's game on the table. GIFfany appears on the screens and starts to scream out no as Rumble smashes it with a lead pipe multiple times. Rumble then walks out of the destroyed arcade as GIFfany fades away into nothingness and pixels. Alright, our winner is Rumble McSkirmish, and with complete ease, really. Allow me to explain. You see, GIFfany's robots are able to chop arcade machines in half, which is impressive, but they're barely fast enough to catch Dipper, Mabel, and Seuss, and Seuss's girlfriend was able to decapitate one of them with a basic hit from a chair. Keep in mind, she's just a normal human. She doesn't have any super powerful feats. Rumble, on the other hand, is a martial artist and should have higher speeds than any normal human. He was also able to destroy a car in a few hits and take down a water tower. He's also able to take a punch from Dipper effortlessly, and Dipper can climb up mountains and pole vault over gaps and run up walls. So, I mean, statistically, Rumble can beat any of GIFfany's robots with ease. The only thing he'll struggle with is figuring out how to destroy her game disc, but I mean, honestly, he could figure that out before GIFfany could do anything to severely hurt Rumble. Especially since Rumble is pretty much, like, he's an incredibly skilled fighter, and GIFfany has next to no combat experience. To be totally honest, GIFfany has next to nothing she could do in this fight. But there is something I do need to address. There's a scene in the show where GIFfany supposedly one-shots Rumble McSkirmish. Look, there are so many things wrong with this scene, and we cannot use it for a reason that GIFfany wins. For one, that was Game Rumble, not the one we see in the finale or in the Rumble McSkirmish episode. The stats are completely different there. Think about it this way. If me and my friend play Street Fighter, he picks Dan Hibiki and I pick Akuma, there's clearly a stat difference there when it comes to lore and the canonness of the game, but he could still beat me. 2, he survived the blast. It's straight up that thing. If you look at the end of that clip, he doesn't die from the attack at all, even in the slightest. And then there's 3. He shows up in the finale of the show, so clearly he's alive and well, or they're 2 separate Rumbles. Seriously, that's stupid to think that she would win because she supposedly one-shot him. So with better skills, abilities, and stats, Rumble should win this match. Looks like GIFfany got into the wrong Rumble. Our winner is Rumble McSkirmish. Next time on Combo Breaker.
He's a silent guardian, a watchful protector, a dark knight.
Lick, lick, lick my balls! Yeah, say that all the the time.
That's right, we have a badass matchup between two of the smartest people in fictional history, Rick Sanchez and Batman. And before I let y'all go, I do want to mention this match will have prep time, so I'm sure that'll affect your predictions and thoughts on the match. First of all, let me thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this to any friends you know who like versus debates. And, tell me what you think of the next match. Give me your predictions, maybe suggest matches in the comments, and they might happen.